Delilah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
We've surfed together a long time. I feel like I've watched you grow up, but you're getting old. What are you, almost 2 decades now? Something like that?
Almost. This 2024, I'll be 20. So
wow.
I turned 19 in September.
But you're like really going for surfing. You're going contests, like this is your thing. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about that. Just quickly introduce yourself and let's get into what you're up to.
I'm Delilah. I'm from North Carolina. I was raised there until I was 14. I moved here 5 years ago almost.
So you've been here a minute.
Yeah.
Those are formative years too, 14 to 19. Holy crap.
Yeah, I went to Del Mar for a year. That's where I met my friends.
Nice.
And then I met most of my other friends surfing.
Did you know you wanted to surf when you first got here?
That's why I moved here, yeah.
Oh, okay. So give us a little more backstory. Where at North Carolina and when did you start surfing?
I'm based out of Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. And nobody really gives North Carolina the credit that it needs, I feel like. My town is gorgeous. It has great waves. It has beautiful summers. Now it's getting really crowded. I feel like there's a lot of the same issues there.
Change of seasons there is pretty dynamic.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of the same problems there than there are here. There's sort of like, the break is getting so crowded and so many people are saying, since COVID that, all the people from California, all the college students, everybody is coming into North Carolina, into Wrightsville Beach, that little town, and the lineups are so crowded. It's so dangerous. You're like, the waves are also always so small. Like you're in tiny baby waves, and that's why I got into longboarding because that was basically the only option that I had. I mean, I could have shortboarded, and when I was deciding, people all like, the groms of that time that were like, my friends were all like, shortboard, you have to shortboard. And I was like, but it's so small.
This is when you're what, 12?
Yeah, I was like 12 when I first decided like, this is what I want to do.
So fast forwarding from longboarding there to longboarding here, it's sort of ironic because Wrightsville Beach is beautiful. It's an amazing town. It's super special, but it's not the cheapest. And also the waves are tiny and small. You now are in Guiones, where it's not the cheapest. It's now become extremely popular. But the wave you're at is off the charts, phenomenal consistency-wise for longboarding, not power surfing or barrels or shortboarding. I'm big and I sink, so I longboard, but it's not because I'm that good at it. It was just because it's the only way I consistently can have fun in a soft wave.
That's how I felt in North Carolina. Like, I've been this tall. Like, I've been like 5'9" since I was like 11. So when I was trying to shortboard, I was having a super hard time. And I just fell in love with longboarding. It was like a dance. And I feel like shortboarding in all the ways that it's amazing and so difficult. And I find it to be like extremely hard to get your feet on a shortboard. I just felt like longboarding was so graceful and dancing and like, yeah, I feel like the wave here, I find it to be critical sometimes. And I find that to be a controversial statement when I'm like, I think it's big and scary, and everybody's like, but it's so soft. But
well, also I'm twice the size of you, so take it easy on yourself.
I mean, I feel like Wrightsville Beach and Nosara have formed into be such similar places for me. I feel like I basically went from one place that was a certain way and to move exactly into. I mean, I feel like North Carolina can be very conservative, and
I guess that's the only difference.
Yeah.
Nosara's pretty liberal on the other side.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that probably the biggest difference besides the fact that we're in the jungle and that not everything is like perfectly together like it is in Wrightsville Beach. It's very liberal here. There's a lot of like freedom to be yourself and whatever you want to do and all sorts of like crazy stuff happening. North Carolina's very conservative. Like it's hard to speak your mind there, but the wave is so inconsistent where I'm from. That's why I moved, is because I was like, I want to compete, but I didn't know how to get better when I would have weeks with no waves at all. My mom recently just moved back to North Carolina for a while, probably for 6 months, and she wants me to come for like 3 months, and I'm like, but I don't know how I can do it because I'll be able to like look at all the Instagram stories and even just the cam here and be like, but look at it over there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like,
I get it. Like, look, it's getting better right now.
I know, it's like torture right now. It's getting so nice out there. But
well, so talk us through, what do you want to do? You want to get into competitions and pursue that as far as you can go, or are you just more horsing around, you're about to go off to university? Like, what? Tell us what you want to do and tell people your story.
I'm going to compete for as long as I can. I'm trying to go as far as I can. I'm putting in my best effort. I'm training hard. And
well, so talk us through that. What's your training? When you say you're training hard, what do you do?
Well, it's just like the lifestyle that you live. I feel like it's sort of like a switch in your priorities.
Okay.
Basically, like trying to keep your body working at its best. You know, trying to eat healthier, working out, stretching, surfing as much as your body physically can, sleeping a good amount of hours a night, you know, like 8 hours a night, trying to live the healthiest lifestyle you can so that your body's like a wave machine. Like you're like going, I mean, I'm basically, I feel like when I decided was just like a switch in what was important for me. Like, was it more important for me to, I don't know, go out to breakfast, brunch with friends or something, or like stay out until the wind switches, or, you know, writing, you know,
I get it, just life choices.
just
all
like
along
life
the way.
changes, you know, trying to learn how to meditate, trying to learn how to be your best version of yourself, hydrate. There's like every little thing that like is hard to do. Like I like to eat a lot of junk food. Like I'm a big junk food fanatic. And I recently was just like, okay, it's time to stop, I guess. If I really want this, like there has to be like sort of a switch. Like you have to be like, this is actually what I want. I'm working for it. And you can't just, for a while, I feel like for years I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a pro surfer, but I was like still being like, I'm not gonna surf this morning, I'm tired, I'm gonna eat a bunch of cinnamon rolls in one sitting and go to bed whenever I want. But like, you gotta be like, actually decide what you really want.
I'm hearing surf coaching in there too, because it sounds like you have good motivation and your mindset's a little too good for a normal 19-year-old right now. So you must have some good people behind you helping you.
Yes, I luckily have the most supportive mother in the world.
Shout out to Mom.
Shout out to Mom. She's the best. She's supportive. She motivates me. She makes me want to be the best version of myself. And I'm luckily working with a new coach who's just the best. He's awesome. He's motivating. I don't know, he's definitely changed my mindset, and he's made me feel, he's helped me switch a lot of things for my surfing that I didn't think about before.
Like what?
You know, just the way that you view competition. I feel like for a while, my mindset was focused in my competitors. And I was always like, what are they doing? What's happening over here? It's mostly, you're just competing against yourself. You're working against, you're just trying to have your best session, and you're trying to enjoy it while you're doing it. And if you get into a place where you're not enjoying it anymore and it's too much stress, and you, at the end of the day, you don't know why you do it, then there's no reason to do it. And it's so easy to get to that spot. It's so easy to be like, oh, this is so hard. I can't do this anymore. But if you switch your mindset and you realize, okay, I'm just trying to be the best surfer that I can be. I'm trying to have the best session. I think that you have to love it, or else there's no point in doing it.
How do you keep going when you're not feeling the love?
I feel like you have to understand why you do it at the end of the day. Like, I think when it's
your purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I'm feeling like I can't do this anymore, or I'm like, gosh, I've worked so hard and I didn't get the results I wanted. You think like, I think, what would my life be without surfing? Like I surf because otherwise I don't know what else I would do every day. I don't know surfing's like the reason to wake up in the morning.
The work is worth it because you're gratified through it.
Exactly, and it's fun. And when you do win, or when you do get the result that you wanted, it's so gratifying and it's so rewarding. It's like the best feeling, and I feel like you face all the losses and the hard times just because, that's part of why you do it in the first place. Right now, I'm about to go to my first WSL QS. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'm trying to transform my nervousness into excitement. So I'm changing my mindset. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking, it takes a lot. it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of funding. It takes a lot of money.
Talk us through how you're pulling this off. Like how are you? Contests cost money. Everything costs money. Just walk us through. Do you have sponsors, or how are you pulling it off? Or at some point in time, I got to figure, you got to find a way to make this machine work, right? So
yeah.
How you doing it?
First off, my mom. Thank you to my mom because she helps me with everything, and like for
So
right now,
supportive.
Yeah, my mom is supportive, and luckily she's helping me financially, and she wants this dream almost as much as I do, if not more. And I couldn't do it without her right now.
Shout out again to your mom.
Yeah, shout out to mom.
What
She's
about
the
boards,
best.
swimwear, all this stuff that comes along with surf?
Yeah, I mean, everything costs money. It's nice to have, you know, sponsors for every little thing. Like I'm so grateful to SHA Boards because SHA Boards, they've made me 5 boards and they're amazing. And I've learned how to work with all of them, and they're all different, and that's like, that takes off a big weight, you know, that takes off like trying to find your magic board is like one of the hardest things that you can do. Like you have to find the one that works for you, and they have provided me with all sorts of boards to try. It's hard for me to, you know, get used to a board. It takes me a long time. So had 5 boards made, and I was on one for 2 months without trying any of the other ones because I was so in love with it. My first day, you knew it clicked. Like I was like, I love this thing.
Was it a progressive style board, or was it a nose rider?
It was super thin. It was like the thinnest, lightest board I've had. It was like it's the shape of a nose rider, but it's so skinny. Like I picked it up the other day because I forgot what it was like riding it, and it was so small, and it has, you know, it has a little bit of a smaller tail. It has, you know, a round, like nose ridey nose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the right term, but
nose
ridey nose. And I fell in love with it, and I rode it, and I won the competition in Guiones on it, and it's the bright red one. There may be a clip to put in there, but I love that board. And then I was like, okay, finally it's time for me to try it, because I got so used to it. I was like, okay, I gotta try another one. And I tried, you know, it was more of a performance one. It's sort of like a gun looking.
You're still talking about the red one right now.
No, I'm talking about another one now.
Okay, so you hopped off the red one finally after doing really well, winning. It was great. It's thin. And then you moved to a more what?
I took this one out for a few days in bigger conditions because it's more of like a gun sort of shape. It has a very skinny tail. It has a pointed nose. It definitely feels lighter.
Okay.
It's about the same weight as my red one, but it's shorter, and I found that to be super fun in big waves, but I couldn't really maneuver it in smaller waves.
Okay.
I definitely am reserving that as like my
Gotcha.
Mavericks board. And then just recently, probably like, I guess it's been 2 months now that I tried my 3rd one, and it has a blue stripe. It's a 9.5, and I thought that was sort of a random shape, a random length, and I was like, a 9.5? I don't even know if I've ever ridden a 9.5, and it felt heavier than my red one. And when my first few days on it, I was having a hard time. I had a good session my first time, but my first 3 waves, I was like trying to handle it because it was so much more classic style than the red one. And now that's my magic board.
All right, so each one has worked in its own way.
Yes.
Nice.
And I still have to try one of them, but it takes me a long time. I like to try out my boards for months at a time. So, and I just tried to go back to the red one the other day just for fun. See if I wanted to bring it on my trip to California. And I just have gotten so used to this blue stripe board, the 9.5.
Does it have a name?
I haven't named it, no.
Think on that. You got to name it. If you like him as much as you're saying, you may as well name him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but whatever it is.
Hey, it's a
the
new
best.
day. It's 2023.
Yeah, it's whatever I want her to be. I think she's a girl.
Maybe you can move around.
Yeah, but she's the best, and yeah, I'm excited to take her to California. I feel it's so nice when you have a board and you're going to a competition that you feel like, this is my board. It works for me. I feel so confident on it, and
so things are going well with SHA is what I'm getting out of this so far.
I love what I have with SHA, and infinite thank yous to SHA Boards. Oh my gosh. It's firing.
I can't wait to grab this, and I'm going to go try to spend like 16 times on that.
So nice out there.
Oh my goodness. It's 12.
We got 1 o'clock. It's happening, people.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of boards, I'm about to talk to Kurzbard, who's kicking off, and I want to support him. I want to get like a twin fin that I can shortboard and longboard and break the fins out. But I'm a weird board dude. I'll ride any board anytime, and I can't stand riding the same one too much. So you and I are wildly different.
So different. I get super freaked out when I have to switch. I'm like, it's like a malfunction in my system. I'm like, I rode the same board for 4 years.
All right, so sponsor-wise, is there any other sponsors you're seeking or needing, or you're just saying in general, this is where you're going?
I am thankful to DeCoco Bikinis because they provide me with every wardrobe.
That functions?
Functioning wardrobe, best bathing suits. I love their suits. They work for me. They're my favorite suits, probably that I've ever tried.
Hey, that's a big statement because men don't understand what you're referencing.
Yeah, I mean, for women, it is so hard to find a surf suit that stays on. And I actually reached out to DeCoco because I love their suits so much.
Nice.
And I was wearing them, and I was going to a big competition, and I was like, I love these suits. I love the colors, I love the styles, and they actually work. Because for women, that's probably one of the biggest challenges when you're surfing is to find something that you like, that feels flattering to you, but also is functioning.
Does it help your surfing confidence when you're comfortable?
It does.
Or does it just not matter?
It totally does, because when you stand up, say you're catching a wave on the outside, and there's everybody on the inside, if you're wearing something that's falling off, you immediately are like trying to fix yourself on the wave. And it completely takes away from your focus on the wave. But when you know that you have something that's like staying on, you don't even have to think about it while you're out there.
Gotcha.
And I love their suits, and they have helped me and supported me through a lot. And I mean, wax, bubblegum surf wax hooks me up, and
that's awesome.
They're the best wax. They were my favorite wax too, and I was using their wax for years, and I was like, you know what, might as well ask them. And they were like, yeah, we'd love to send you.
So you're taking some initiative in finding these.
Yeah,
that's great.
Honestly, I mean, I've reached out to basically everybody, except for SHA Boards. I worked with them a few years ago, and then I don't think they were looking for another team rider then. And then recently they reached out to me. This has been probably like 8 months that I've been with them. But yeah, I like to take initiative. You know, it's hard for surfers to find sponsors unless you have a connection. And if you don't really take initiative yourself and reach out and just say, hey, might as well, like, are you looking for somebody new on your team? And you never know. Like, you could happen to reach out to like Billabong one day, and they'd be like, yeah, we're actually looking for somebody. You're perfect. So, I mean, you have to take initiative.
Maybe somebody will see this episode and it helps you down the road.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead and send a message out to 22-year-old you right now while you have this platform.
I don't know. I don't know what to say to 22-year-old me.
You're going to need money to make all this happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to find a sponsor that can help financially support me through things and through competitions. And it's expensive. You have to get all the way around the world. And I mean, say one day I get on the tour, like, I'm going to have to go to Australia, and then I'm like all the things.
You got to win.
You got to win, exactly. And it's hard. You're doing it for the love. You're not doing it for the money. That's just like the bottom line of trying to be a competitive longboarder.
Well, look, I want to thank you for coming on the episode. I want to celebrate your initiative. I hope that you get the funding and the sponsors and all the victories that you need to get there. I enjoy surfing with you. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow up. Is there any shout outs for the people? Obviously your mom, you were a lucky duck to have your family situation. Besides mom, who else helped get you here?
Wow. Oh, Tommy Potterton has helped me a lot. He motivated me through hard times, and he was a great coach, and I'm grateful for him always.
He talks about you all the time.
Yeah, he's the best. He's a great guy. So many people have motivated me along the way. My mom, she's definitely my biggest motivation. My current coach, he's awesome. He's so motivating, and he knows so much.
You're surrounded. basically.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have.
Yeah. My best friends, they're always supporting me. They're always rooting me on. Esteban has helped me through so much and has motivated me to be a better surfer and, stay committed. And all the sponsors. Thank you to Flying Diamond Fins for providing me with every shape of fin I could ever need. Thank you to Surface Sunscreen for keeping me protected from the sun.
Well, hey, congratulations on pulling it off this far. I wish you well.
Thank you.
A couple Nosara questions before we go.
Let's do it.
What are your 3 favorite restaurants here?
Ooh.
No particular order, just rattle them off.
Oh, goodness.
Like if you had your next 3 meals and you could choose wherever around here, what are they?
That's so hard. Okay, I really love Naked Foods for breakfast.
Okay.
That's like my favorite breakfast spot. I, of course, love La Luna.
Okay.
And I love La Brasa. And Olivia's. 4.
Okay.
I could name endless.
La Luna, Brasa.
At La Luna,
Olivia's.
I love the chicken skewers. You
Okay.
can't go wrong.
Brasa?
La Brasa, ribeye, always.
Okay.
It's the best. You need your
Olivia's?
protein. Olivia's, I get the Olivia's pizza. And that's the best. And Naked Foods breakfast burrito it hits after surfing.
All right. For the area, what is your biggest like about the place, not counting surfing?
The lifestyle? I like waking up with trees all around and not the sound. I mean, now it's changing. Now outside of my house, when there never was, there's sounds of huge trucks coming by, waking me up at 6 in the morning. I mean, it's good motivation. It's like an alarm clock, but it's not what you want.
It's not a secret anymore.
No, it's places, it's changing.
So let's just move to your dislikes then. What's your biggest dislike?
All the construction that's happening. It's hard to, just being fully honest, like when you're walking past construction sites on your way surfing, it feels really sad and it also feels kind of unsettling. There's a lot of people around. There's a lot of construction around my house. My house has been standing there for 15 years. We bought it from, it used to be a restaurant. And nothing, everybody when we first bought it was like, you're going into the most, quiet little neighborhood and you're gonna love it here. And now there's houses left and right around. There's the alarm clock of the trucks in the morning. There's sounds of machinery all around. And I mean, I love waking up to hear the sound of the birds in the jungle and the monkeys and the mango trees. And it's a nice way of life being here. And the ocean is like the only reason why I'm here.
So dislikes or growth?
I mean, I've only been here 5 years, so I can't really speak to what it was like before that. And when I was here, it was already so different, as everyone says, and I'm sure it was.
The good news is those people who are coming in and building the houses, they have money. And if we get to them now, that's how we can plant trees like these. These trees didn't used to be here, like when I got here. Like the solution isn't avoiding it or complaining about it anymore. It's progressing it.
Yeah, it's making a difference. It's bringing light to the topics, and it's also, another thing is something that's just changed in the past 5 years. It was already like this a bit when I moved here, but the water gets so dirty in the rainy season, and it's because there's not enough places. There's not enough room for all of the development that's happening, and also the water. The other day, Alejandro actually caught a video of me. I had picked up a piece of plastic from the lineup and set it on my board, and I caught the whole wave with the plastic propped on my board, and I had to give it to Esteban, who brought it in and threw it away.
I saw that.
And it was, you see it all the time now. Now you see just plastic floating and
especially
nobody even picks
season.
it up.
Well, there's too much to pick up.
There's too much.
That comes out of the river and comes here this time of year.
Yeah, and it's hard to say what you can do about it. That's the hardest part, is that when I'm bringing the topic up, my first thought is what do I do about it?
Encourage people to improve their septic systems and make it fun and cool and hip to be part of the solution in Nosara is what we need to do.
And when you see a bunch of empty beers, cans stacked up in the parking lot, take them with you and throw them away. Or you're walking out, just pick up a few. Just pick up a few pieces of trash just because, like, it's not hurting. You're not hurting. I mean, you may not be in, like, making the biggest difference. You're not, like, changing the whole thing, but everybody, like, can pick up one piece of trash and sort of make a change.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Anything else to get off your chest? Any jokes, shout-outs, complaints, anything at all?
No, nothing. Nosara is an amazing place, great town, awesome food, awesome waves, awesome people, and
Well, congratulations on your life. It seems like it's going all right.
thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.